to the Real Sports Money Show. I'm Brian Gilder, your host of the Real Sports Money Show, where the same principles of winning in sports are the same principles of winning with your money. Manny Ramirez, that's all I've been hearing for the last 48 hours. Manny. Should he have gotten a 50-game suspension? I've heard all these radio shows. I've seen all the television shows, the sportscasters, the newspapers. They want to debate, should Manny have gotten a 50-game suspension? Honestly, I don't have the time, nor do I really care about debating this topic for 6 hours. But the bottom line is that Manny accepted a 50-game suspension, and we got to move on. He'll be back in July. My point is that all the Dodgers have moved on, and we need to move on. So my point is that we need to talk about how this could happen to you and how the same thing that happened to Manny Ramirez could happen to you. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, how's that possible? So Manny gets a 50-game suspension. Dodgers are riding high. Dodgers are, they win 12 straight games at home, and everything was going great. But what happened? Manny got caught with some substance. I don't know exactly what it is. He got a 50-game suspension. And at that time, the Dodgers were probably the hottest team in baseball. And boom, all of a sudden, 50-game suspension to the Dodgers. 50-game suspension. And here's what's going to happen, which is interesting. Manny's probably going to lose about a third of his salary, which would be approximately $7 to $8 million. Do you think Manny Ramirez has set aside an emergency fund for himself? Now, let's talk about us, the blue-collar worker, the people who we get up, we go to work, some of us work 9 to 5, some of us work 12, 13, 14 hours a day, we run a business. Let me ask you this question. If for some reason you got laid off from your job, or let's say some let's say your employee accused you of some wrongdoing and suspended you without pay for 30 days, or an unforeseen medical expense happened, would you have enough money right now set aside in cash of at least 6 to 9 months of your monthly expenses to cover your living expenses? And what I mean by that is, and which I've always stressed here at the Real Sports Money Show, is that you must have, and I repeat, you must have at least 6 to 9 months of liquid cash available for your monthly expenses. For example, if your monthly expenses are $3,000 a month, you should have anywhere from $18,000 to $27,000 liquid in some type of a CD, a liquid CD, a money market account, a savings account. Don't worry so much about the interest rates. Try to get the best interest rates you can, but don't make this as an excuse. You need that cash set aside. So if for some reason, all of a sudden you lose your job, or an unforeseen medical expense happens, or you get a 50-game suspension, you're not going to panic. Now, do you think the Dodgers are panicking? I'm thinking to myself as an owner, let's see here, Manny is out for 50 games. We saved $8 million. I think I'll take that. And what's our backup plan? Well, our backup plan is that we have a bench of players, and Juan Pierre can take over in left field. Not the same as Manny, obviously, but Juan Pierre is a good backup player. The bottom line is, for Manny Ramirez, think of Manny Ramirez as your emergency fund, and it's very important to have that. So make sure you have an emergency fund. Set one up today. Do not, and I repeat, do not procrastinate. Just get it done.